Hi, it's Steve from PartSelect. Today we're going to show you how to change the defrost timer on your refrigerator, and it's a really easy job. All we're going to need is a 1/4 inch nut driver and a small flat blade screwdriver. Let me show you how we do it. Now, depending on the model of refrigerator that you have, the defrost timer could be located below the fresh food compartment in behind the kick plate, or in the case of this model, it is located in the control panel housing just about in the center here. Now, this particular one we'll need to take 4 1/4 inch hex head screws off to remove that housing. Then we can set it on a suitable work surface and change the timer. So our first step will be to turn the refrigerator off and remove any items on that top shelf. So we'll remove the 2 1/4 inch hex head screws in the center of this housing. There's a long one at the front. Now, these screws might not come completely out of the housing, but as long as they're completely loose from the hole that they're in, and we'll switch to the 2 on the outside edges at the front. Remove those. You'll need to support that housing when we remove the final screws. Just lower it down. Just pull it forward. And then we need to disconnect the wire harness. Just squeeze the 2 locking tabs and disconnect it. Then we'll just pull that whole housing forward and we'll set it on a suitable work surface and we can replace the timer. Now, the defrost timer on this model is clipped in place with these 3 plastic tabs that hold it to the housing, and the harness is attached to the end. So we're going to take our flat blade screwdriver and we're just going to pry that harness off of the end of the timer, so it is fairly tight on there. And then we'll depress the tabs to release the timer. Do one at a time and just enough pressure to release it. And we can remove and discard the old timer. So we're just going to set that new one into position. We'll hook it under one of those tabs. And we're also going to make sure that these round projections fit into the housing, and that will line up the timer so that we can use the advance mechanism, or our service technician could use that advance mechanism if need be. And then just push those tabs back enough that we can fit it finally into position. And just make sure all 3 of those tabs are hooked over the top of the timer. And then we'll reconnect the harness. We'll slide that onto the terminals that project from the timer and make sure it pushes on all the way. And then remember to tuck the schematic diagram back in beside the timer. And we're now ready to put the whole control housing back into the refrigerator. Now, when reinstalling the control housing, first of all, make sure that that foam gasket is over the spout from the drain. And we're going to line that up with the drain outlet at the back. Sure it's fully inserted. Then we'll reconnect the wire harness connector. And make sure both locking tabs engage. And we can tilt the housing up into position. And replace the long screw on the front. And then the two short screws, one on each side. And then the medium length screw, the hole in the center at the back. And we'll turn the controls back on, and our repair is complete. I told you it was an easy job. Thanks for watching, and good luck with your repair.